Welcome to our Group 5 presentation with the topic depth perception. Okay, and first presentation will be presented by Awan with the topic binocular.
Okay, thank you Adit. My name is Awan and I am responsible to present with the topic binocular. Binocular depth perception refers to the ability to perceive depth and three-dimensional structure using the visual information received from both eyes. This process relies on the slight differences in the image captured by each eye, known as binocular disparity. A key element in binocular vision is the use of binocular disparity, which is the slight difference in the image perceived by each eye due to their different perspective. Monocular and binocular visual acuities, as well as binocular functional visual acuity at a distance, were assessed using the corrective lens that participants typically were in their daily activities. Binocular cues, which rely in input from both eyes, include mechanisms such as binocular disparity and variance. Binocular disparity. Binocular disparity, a highly reliable cue for depth perception, arises from the slight difference in the position of an object image as perceived by the left and right eyes due to the horizontal pattern between them. Convergence. When we look at a very close object, our eyes move slightly inward to focus on the object. Convergence is particularly effective as a depth cue for distance up to approximately 1 or 2 meters. Without binocular depth perception, we would have difficulty accurately judging distance, which could affect us such as driving, walking, or even threading a needle. However, while binocular cues are essential, depth perception is also supported by monocular cues. So, people with monocular vision can still judge depth, albeit less accurately. Okay, next presentation will be presented by Dita with the topic monocular.
Okay, thank you Awan. My name is Ita Kurniasari and I am responsible to present with the topic monocular. Monocular cues are information that we can capture with this one aim to perceive distance and depth in the form of the three-dimensional image. This clue is important, especially for objects that are more than 50 feet from, because at a distance, our two eyes can no longer work together to provide accurate depth information. The perception can actually be achieved using this one aim. For this reason, monocular cues are also often referred to as pictorial cues, because they are used by painters and artwork to make their work look more real and have dimension. The types of monocular cues are: first, relative linear. Relative linear occurs when two parallel or parallel lines appear to meet a single point, giving the illusion of the relative size. The smaller the image for an object format at the retina, the further away the object appears. Third, interposition. Interposition occurs when an object is between the observer and another object. The first object partially covering the second object. Fourth, light and shadow. Two-dimensional image can look three-dimensional if the light and shadow patterns are arranged to resemble condition on real object. Fifth, texture and gradation. Smaller, closer objects are often associated as distant, while longer or distant objects are considered closer. Sixth, atmospheric perspective. Particle in the air, such as dust, fog, or smoke, cause distant objects to appear blurry, like the tile of appear without. 7. Mention parallax. Objects located at a different distance for the focal point move at different speed and direction on the retina. Next presentation will be presented by Grace with the topic extrasensory perception.
Okay, thank you, Dita. Hi, my name is Grace Prisarianto, and I am responsible to present with the topic extrasensory perception. Extrasensory perception is a perceptual ability that does not involve the five human senses. From a psychological perspective, extrasensory perception is related to research on human body parts. Extrasensory perception, or intuitive ability in humans, is located in the right hemisphere of the brain. The appreciation of beauty in the surroundings is absorbed by the right brain, with the same emotional signals and to human heart. There so far are extrasensory perception into 4 types, such as telepathy, clairvoyance, procreation, and psychokinesis. Number 1, telepathy. Telepathy is a connection between the consciousness of two or more individuals without involving the 5 senses. Telepathy can be played in 2 ways, such as horizontal telepathy and vertical telepathy. Number 2, clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is ability to perceive or see event or object happening elsewhere. This ability also relies on the mind as the medium for transmitting information. People with this ability may sometimes receive premonition triggered by signals from other senses. Okay, next presentation will be presented by Adit with the topic protection and psychokinesis.
Thank you, Grace, for the presentation. I am Adit. Here, I will present you about precognition and psychokinesis. Precognition is the direct knowledge or perception of futures, events, options through extrasensory means. This intuition can occur through dreams or suddenly through sensory experience, such as visual images, auditory hallucinations, mental signals, or merely an instinctive feeling of knowing that something will happen. Next, psychokinesis. Psychokinesis or PK comes from the Greek words psyche meaning soul or mind, and kinesis meaning movement. The term refers to a person's ability to influence physical objects or systems without direct physical interaction, but rather by using the power of the mind. In parapsychology, psychokinesis is often considered one of the paranormal abilities that cannot be explained by conventional laws of psychology. Psychokinesis can be divided into several types based on its influence and scale. First, macropsychokinesis involves effects visible to the naked eye, such as moving objects or bending metal. This phenomenon often appears in paranormal reports or magic shows. Secondly, micropsychokinesis refers to small changes to the system, such as affecting the outcome of a dice roll or data output from RET. Scientific research more often focuses on micropsychokinesis because it is easier to control experimentally. Third, biopsychokinesis involves influence on biological systems, such as accelerating wound healing or affecting plant growth. Okay, next presentation will be presented by Laras with the topic Psi Powers.
Okay, thank you Adi. My name is Laras Lene and I'm responsible to present with the topic Psi Powers. Psi powers, often referred to as wild talents, are mental abilities believed to transcend conventional physical laws and scientific understanding. These abilities include phenomena such as precognition, telepathy, clairvoyance, and psychokinesis. Proponents of psi phenomena argue that these abilities, while subtle and challenging to measure, are genuine aspects of human consciousness. On the other hand, skeptics challenge the validity of psi powers, citing methodological flaws and lack of replicable evidence. Scientific studies of psi phenomena have produced mixed results. In conclusion, the debate over psi powers remains unresolved, with compelling arguments on both sides. As research continues, the mystery of psi powers persists, inspiring both scientific inquiry and public fascination. That's all for our Group 5 presentation. Thanks for watching and good morning.